Have you ever felt that despite achieving every dream and milestone, there's a missing piece inside you? A void that no amount of success or recognition can ever seem to fill. Imagine reaching the pinnacle of your ambitions only to realize that true happiness remains elusive, as if life's meaning is nothing more than a mirage in the desert of existence. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of this mystery, a quest for purpose that even the greatest minds have struggled to decipher. Before we dive deeper into this, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're ready to take a ride through this journey. Imagine waking up every day with a nagging, relentless voice asking, "Why do you even exist?" Despite having everything society celebrates, fame, immense wealth, a legacy of timeless literature, and a loving family, Tolstoy found himself trapped in a cycle of despair. Every achievement, every accolade, felt like a fleeting illusion, a temporary bomb that barely masked a deeper, unyielding void. In his own words, "My life had come to a halt. I could breathe, walk, eat, sleep, but there was no life in me." This wasn't a passing moment of doubt. It was an all-encompassing torment that robbed him of purpose. Tolstoy's journey is not just a tale of artistic brilliance but a raw, unfiltered exploration into the heart of human existence. He was a man celebrated by intellectuals and admired by legions of readers, yet at the pinnacle of his success, he was overwhelmed by a sense of insignificance. In the silence of his mind, despite the constant clamor of applause and recognition, a stark question echoed: if everything ends, what's the point? It was a riddle that no scholarly treatise or philosophical debate could solve. He compared his existence to that of a wanderer lost in a murky, treacherous forest, constantly fleeing from an invisible, ever-present specter: death. The dread of death wasn't simply an abstract idea. It was a tangible, relentless beast stalking him at every corner of his existence. No matter how hard he ran, no matter how high he climbed, the grim reality of mortality loomed over him. Each new milestone, a fresh book, a new project, yet another achievement, offered nothing more than a temporary reprieve, a brief illusion of joy that slipped away as quickly as it arrived. This painful pattern revealed to Tolstoy that the very success he had chased was nothing more than a mirage, a sequence of transient victories in a game that promised eternal emptiness. In a society that teaches us that greatness is measured by achievements, recognition, and the legacy we build, Tolstoy's internal collapse posed a devastating paradox. The more he achieved, the more he questioned if any of it truly mattered. His heart ached with the realization that, despite all his triumphs, there was an inescapable silence, a vacuum that no intellectual pursuit could fill. The endless chase for the next big thing only intensified his inner void, leaving him to wonder: was he merely delaying the inevitable? Was success just a broken promise, a ruse to distract us from the inexorable march towards nothingness? In the midst of this relentless despair, Tolstoy sought refuge in the wisdom of the world's greatest philosophers. He devoured the works of Plato, Aristotle, Kant, and even the cynical musings of Schopenhauer and Nietzsche, hoping that somewhere in their dense arguments lay the secret to a meaningful existence. But rather than soothing his soul, their ideas deepened his crisis. Schopenhauer's grim view of life as an endless cycle of suffering only confirmed Tolstoy's darkest fears, while Kant's rigid boundaries of pure reason made it painfully clear that meaning was not something that could be proven. Nietzsche's radical dismissal of predetermined purpose suggested that the very act of seeking meaning might be a futile human construct. And as Tolstoy plunged deeper into the realms of science, he found no solace there either. Biology and physics painted a picture of a cold, indifferent universe, a cosmic accident governed by unfeeling laws where life was just an elaborate series of chemical reactions, and death, the ultimate end of all things. This cascade of intellectual dead ends left Tolstoy feeling more isolated than ever. If reason, logic, and science couldn't provide him with the comfort he desperately sought, where else could he turn? The answer came from an unexpected source, a gentle, almost whispering voice that urged him to look beyond the confines of scholarly debate and high-minded theory. With nothing left to lose, he shifted his focus from the abstract corridors of philosophy to the raw, unadorned reality of everyday life. He began to observe the people who, on the surface, appeared to have little: the peasants, the laborers, the simple farmers whose lives were defined by routine and honest work rather than the grand ambitions of the elite. What struck Tolstoy was the unyielding serenity in these lives. Here were people who, despite the hardships and lack of material wealth, carried an inner peace that transcended the constant dread of mortality. They didn't spend hours dissecting the meaning of existence or agonizing over life's endless questions. They simply lived. Every sunrise for them was a fresh start, not a reminder of life's ultimate futility. Their joy wasn't contingent on an elusive concept of success. It was found in the act of living itself, in the simple, beautiful routines of everyday life. This was a revelation that challenged everything Tolstoy had believed. If these individuals, whose lives were stripped of the trappings of sophistication and intellectual grandeur, could find meaning in their daily existence, perhaps the answer he sought wasn't hidden in the labyrinth of academic thought after all. Tolstoy's transformation wasn't instantaneous. It was a gradual process of unlearning and relearning. He started to understand that perhaps the secret to a fulfilling life wasn't about accumulating achievements or proving the worth of every moment with logic, but about embracing life in its raw, unstructured form. In observing these humble souls, he began to see that true meaning wasn't a puzzle to be solved, but a mystery to be experienced. There was an undeniable power in simplicity, a kind of wisdom that came from trusting in the natural rhythm of life. The peasants' unwavering faith in the cycle of nature, their acceptance of life's impermanence, and their ability to find contentment in what they had. All of this slowly chipped away at the fortress of despair that had long encased Tolstoy's heart. As his perspective shifted, Tolstoy began to question his previous notions. Was it really necessary to have a concrete, definitive explanation for life's meaning? What if, instead, the key was to surrender to life's unpredictability and allow oneself to be carried by its currents? It was a radical departure from everything he'd known, a move from intellectual certainty to an embrace of the unknown. For the first time in years, he experienced a glimmer of peace. He realized that in his relentless quest for absolute answers, he had been missing out on the beauty of simply being. The very act of living, of engaging with the world, forming connections, and opening one's heart, became, in itself, a profound source of meaning. Yet, even as Tolstoy began to adopt this new way of living, the transformation came at a steep personal cost. His shift in perspective was not well received by everyone around him. Accustomed to a life of luxury and aristocratic privilege, his family was deeply troubled by his rejection of wealth and status. His wife, Sophia, could not fathom how a man of his stature could abandon everything he had ever valued. Their once solid marriage turned into a battleground between two clashing worlds, one steeped in opulence and tradition, and the other rooted in simple, unpretentious truth. Unyielding in his new convictions, Tolstoy made a bold decision. He chose to sever the ties that bound him to his former life. In a dramatic, heart-wrenching act, he left behind the estate, the comforts, and the expectations of society, embarking on a solitary journey towards a life defined by nothing but its raw essence. With no clear destination in mind, he set out into the night, driven by an urgent need to escape the suffocating confines of his past existence. His goal was simple: to live as an ordinary man, free from the burdens of excessive wealth and societal expectations, and to embrace the truth that he had finally discovered, that the real meaning of life lies not in external achievements, but in the art of living authentically. But fate, as it often does, had its own plans. Even as he sought freedom and peace, his body, worn down by years of inner turmoil and relentless pursuit, began to betray him. His health faltered, and eventually, on a cold, fateful night at a modest train station, surrounded by a few compassionate souls and strangers alike, Tolstoy's remarkable journey came to an end. He passed away far from the opulent world he had once inhabited, his final moments imbued with the very simplicity and humility he had embraced in his later years. His death was a poignant, symbolic closure to a life spent searching for answers, a reminder that even the greatest minds are, at their core, as vulnerable and transient as the rest of us. Tolstoy's legacy is not merely one of literary genius, but of a profound transformation, a journey from the depths of despair to the heights of understanding that the meaning of life is not something to be scientifically or philosophically dissected, but something to be felt with every beat of the heart. His story challenges us to reconsider our own pursuits. Are we so caught up in chasing success, wealth, and recognition that we overlook the simple, beautiful truths that reside in everyday moments? Do we, like Tolstoy, sometimes miss that the ultimate answer might be found not in complex theories or grand achievements, but in the quiet acceptance of life as it unfolds? Consider this. While the world may tell you that happiness comes only after one more accomplishment, one more milestone, one more triumph, What if the real, undeniable meaning of life is hidden in the small acts of kindness, in the unspoken bonds with loved ones, in the serene embrace of a sunrise, or in the silent, unwavering faith of someone who has learned to live without constant questioning? What if the secret isn't to prove that life has meaning, but to allow it to be raw, mysterious, and beautiful in its uncertainty? Tolstoy's Evolution teaches us that sometimes the greatest revelations come not from endless analysis, but from a willingness to step back, to observe, and to surrender. His story reminds us that while intellectual achievements and grand debates might fill our minds, they can never fill the soul in the same way that genuine, unguarded experience can. It's in the laughter of a child, the warmth of a shared meal, or the gentle cadence of nature that we find what it truly means to be alive. In embracing this perspective, Tolstoy ultimately discovered that the purpose of life wasn't something to be earned or proven, it was something to be lived, moment by moment. By letting go of the desperate need for absolute certainty, he opened himself up to a life where every breath was a testament to resilience, every step a celebration of existence, and every interaction a reminder that love, compassion, and authenticity are the real measures of a meaningful life. As you listen to this story, reflect on your own life. Ask yourself, are you chasing after endless achievements, hoping they will someday fill the void inside? Or are you taking a moment to truly experience the beauty of each day, to feel the simple joy of being present? Tolstoy's journey is not a prescription for abandoning ambition entirely, but a powerful invitation to balance our pursuits with an awareness that the essence of life lies in its unpredictable, unscripted moments. Remember, the quest for meaning isn't a linear path paved with grand accomplishments. It is an intricate dance between striving for something greater and learning to appreciate the immediate wonder of existence. It is in those quiet, unremarkable moments, when you pause to watch the play of light on a familiar face, when a shared smile or an unexpected act of kindness touches your heart, that the true magic of life reveals itself. So, let Tolstoy's legacy be a beacon for all who feel lost in the relentless pursuit of success. Let his story remind you that while the mind may search for answers in the vast libraries of philosophy and science, the soul finds its sustenance in the simple, unadorned moments of trust and love. The secret to a fulfilling life isn't hidden in a complex equation or a meticulously written treatise. It's woven into the fabric of daily existence, waiting for you to embrace it fully. As you move forward, dare to let go of the need for absolute proof. Instead, open yourself to the possibility that life's meaning is something you create. Something that grows organically from every act of kindness, every moment of vulnerability, and every leap of faith you take. In a world that often glorifies the tangible and measurable, there is immeasurable power in learning to live with mystery, in surrendering to the beauty of the unknown. Tolstoy's journey, from the towering heights of literary fame to the humbling simplicity of a peasant's life, is a testament to the transformative power of surrender. His life challenges us to rethink what it means to be successful, to recognize that real fulfillment is not found in the accumulation of wealth or accolades, but in the willingness to experience life in its fullest, rawest form. It is a call to live with open hearts and to value authenticity over artifice. In the end, Tolstoy left us not just with a collection of literary masterpieces, but with a profound reminder. The meaning of life is not something to be solved like a puzzle, it's a mystery to be lived, with every emotion, every relationship, every fleeting moment of grace. His legacy invites us to stop searching for perfection and to start embracing the imperfect, unpredictable dance of life. So, as you contemplate your own journey, ask yourself, what truly makes your life worth living? Is it the relentless pursuit of success? Or is it the quiet moments of connection and love that light up your heart? Perhaps the answer has always been right there. In the laughter shared with friends, in the warm embrace of family, in the simple act of waking up each day and choosing to live with purpose. Let this story inspire you to rethink what success means. Let it remind you that the most powerful transformations come not from the accolades we collect, but from the ways we choose to embrace life with vulnerability and courage. And as you carry this message with you, may you find the strength to live authentically, to love unconditionally, and to trust that, even in the face of life's uncertainties, there is a profound beauty in simply being. Now, take a deep breath. Let the quiet truth of this message settle in your soul. And as you continue on your journey, remember that you have the power to redefine what it means to live. A power that lies in every moment, every interaction, every choice you make to embrace life with open arms. This is not just Tolstoy's story. It's our story. It's the timeless narrative of every soul that has ever dared to dream, to question, and to ultimately find solace in the simple, undeniable beauty of life. Embrace it, live it, and let it transform you from the inside out. If this message has stirred something within you, share it with someone who might also be searching for that glimmer of hope. Let's spark a conversation about what it truly means to live a life of purpose. One that isn't defined by endless achievements, but by the quality of our moments and the depth of our connections. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of existence. Remember, the secret isn't to chase after the next milestone, but to savor every breath along the way. Stay curious, stay passionate, and most importantly, keep living with love and authenticity. In the spirit of Tolstoy's legacy, may you always find the courage to question, the strength to surrender, and the wisdom to know that the most profound meaning in life is found in simply being. What makes your life worth it? The answer is yours to create. If you enjoyed this story and it sparked a moment of reflection, please share it, subscribe, and join the conversation. Let's remind each other that sometimes the greatest wisdom is found in living each day fully, without needing to solve every mystery.